It's still trying. It's on a preview. Unmute us though, just to make sure I can hear myself. Yeah, I can. Can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can.
Okay, it says we're live, but it doesn't say we're live on ETN. I don't know what's wrong. I feel like it's going to start doing it at 3:30.
Who knows?
So, can you call him real quick?
Brandon.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm at 9%. Great.
I have another charger right here. Hi. It only gave me an option to start it live at 3:30, which it still says it isn't live on Erie Tiger Network, but it says it's live on the.
Yeah.
Hold on one sec. I'm trying to get your hotspot on Kyle's phone so I can FaceTime you. Oh, he ended the call. Fuck you, Brandon.
Maybe he's gonna call you.
No, I don't even have the hotspot on either. The thing is, it still says it's 0 people watching, so that makes me feel better. Hi. Whoa. I can't hear you. I'm gonna call you on my phone. That is wow. Your phone is fucked up.
I know.
Call back.
Do we have a?
Hi. Then it. Oh, well, I can see you. You're the only person that's viewing it. Okay, so let me check back. So where is it located? Okay, he hasn't muted. Well, we're gonna start it for real now. Bye. All right, and welcome on in to Erie Tiger Network. We had a few little connection, little things here. This would be our first ever student-ran broadcast for our actual real only student broadcast. Mr. Bird today has the day off, so today doing play-by-play. I am Caleb Humble doing that. We got your color by Kyle Cooper, and giving you the visuals, the camera work. That's Cody Yop out there. Well, Kyle, it's been a good day so far. They've actually had some good attacking up front. They started off well. They had a good attack on the first right off kickoff. So tell me what you're seeing.
I mean, these guys have really been grinding a lot recently. They're going for their 5th win in a row now. Like you said, they are really attacking hard and playing good defense.
Yeah, John Powell there scooping the ball up. Yeah, they're doing great. John Powell, especially with losing Dylan Brown a couple weeks, just even like a couple weeks into the season. But John has really filled this role beautifully. Ball's headed on about 6 times up the field and cleared there by the Roosevelt defender.
And there's all those questions about all these injuries and stuff with this team, but I've heard that they have almost a full second varsity team that is just as good. So the questions about filling spots is not necessarily, oh, do we have someone who can fill that? It's more of, when am I going to get in to fill that spot?
Ball crossed in by John, and then John Powell scoops it up. Sorry, ball crossed in by the Roosevelt player. Solid start for both sides here. Roosevelt has had a couple attacks coming up, but Erie's just trying to get the little things, those little touches that go right through. Ball played up the left side, back into the middle. That's Yago Roloff out there trying to gather the ball, and then it's kicked out of bounds by a Roosevelt player.
Got a good opportunity to attack right here. Everybody can be pushed up. There's a shot on goal. And a clear by a Roosevelt player off to the left side.
Another great player that's really risen this year, Jackson Higgins. He's a captain this year. I believe he's a junior, and he's really played a great role in this team. Started off playing midfielder and now kind of playing a sweeping spot. Ball cleared there by Ethan Tyson right to the Roosevelt defender, played up the field. Yeah, and him and Ethan Tyson. Tyson is his first year ever playing soccer, so he's doing a great job at that sweeper position mostly. He's been staying back usually when there's big attacks going on. Ball played up the right side. And, he gets so explosive with his ability with basketball. And it really helps to have that someone with that speed up at the back to help sweep things away.
Yeah, that's really impressive to come in as a first-year player and starting as a varsity player. That's extremely impressive, especially on a very experienced team that we have this year.
Ball playing in the middle to Hogan Warlock, played out Dalton Harrington. Up to Yago Roloff, back to Harrington. Try to play up to Jackson Kuderi. Sorry, not Jackson Kuderi. Josh Kuderi, but offside. It's a common theme with this Erie Tigers team. We see a lot of offside calls. It's more of an awareness of not knowing where the defenders are. So I think that this Tigers team needs to start figuring that out if they want to really advance in those playoffs. And a tough tackle there by C.J. Hull.
There were a lot of offsides calls when they played Frederick. Ooh, what was that? 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
There were lots of offsides calls. But also within that game, Hogan Warlock got a hat trick within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, and that actually pushed him at the time to being the Tigers' leading goal scorer. After having 1 goal earlier in the season, he ended up having 4 goals, which was a team leading at that point. Tigers team has really been rolling. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, this Tigers team really turned a corner, and they really are figuring out what's working, what's not. And that's really the key playing soccer, is really figuring out what kind of styles everyone plays. Every soccer team plays a different kind of style. If you look at more of the European style, sometimes soccer, a lot of them play a lot more defensive and then take their advantages on the little mishaps. Ball played up the right side from Roosevelt.
And with
played in the middle,
leading 4 goals, that's kind of surprising. It kind of sounds low. I mean, that's showing how spread out these goals are among these Erie players. It's not just one superstar like a Messi or something to that effect.
Yeah, foul there by Roosevelt. It's really been a back and forth game so far. About 10 minutes have passed. We still have a score of 0-0.
Played up the left side.
Nice move there by C.J. Hull trying to put the ball in the middle. Brings it to Brandon Cummings, but just a little too strong. Trying to play that ball back into C.J. Hull, collected by the Roosevelt goalkeeper.
And you see a lot of shots on goal by this Tiger team. They really push that attack when it's there.
The great thing about what they do too is that they keep two defenders, the sweepers they call them, on the backside. Nice ball played from C.J. Hull up to Yago Roloff in the box. They keep them back, so then if there's any counterattacks, that they can easily sweep them up. Then a skyrocket out to over the goal.
Gonna have a Roosevelt defender come in and clear the ball.
Yeah, a lot of times they have the defenders with the more precise and powerful kick to come in and take those goal kicks. A lot of times these goalies just get up there and they just boot it wherever. While a lot of times it's really nice if you can get someone who can really pinpoint a spot.
It also pulls that goalie out of goal, so if he miskicks it at all, there's just like that right there. There's a chance that Tiger defender or offender for this moment could come in and attack, and he's out of goal, out of position.
Yeah, Coach Vigil this year has been really, really exceptional at turning this Tigers team around and making sure that we are being more attacking this year. This Tigers team has never been as attacking as they are right now. Ball played at the left side. Hogan Warlock tries to bring the ball down to Josh Kuderi. Man, ball played up nicely to Roosevelt
clear.
Defender.
And very good clear.
Picked up by John Powell. John, a couple of times, he gets off his line, and that could either really scare a coach and a player, or it really helps if he can really have that speed to get off the line and try to boot it up the field. Nice ball played in the middle. Nice move up to the left side, trying to play the ball up to Hogan Warlock. Ball played back to Hogan Warlock, but just get intercepted by the defender. And offsides for Brandon Cummings.
Second one of this first half. Probably going to see quite a few more of those.
Yeah, don't expect it to be the
game.
last. Nice ball played up the left side to the Roosevelt player, but it's going to go out for a goal kick.
You know, this is a really young Tigers team. There are, I think, 2 seniors that start, which is very surprising when you realize that these seniors, when this program started, they were freshmen, so you could have a lot in here. A lot of seniors with 4 years of experience.
Yes. And Jeffrey Fitzjohn coming on for Brandon Cummings. Jeff has played a interesting role last year as a freshman. He played JV and not really a highlight player, but a solid one that's just kind of in the shadows that really gets everything done, makes those key tackles and makes those crisp passes. But a ball trying to play to Josh Kuderi, but facing the opposite way.
You got goalkeeper out of position there. That was a very dangerous spot for Roosevelt.
Ball played up in the middle. Taken down, played to Dalton Harrington, but swooped up by the Roosevelt defender.
Good stop there.
Oh, great ball up the left side. And the goalie coming out too. Hogan Warlock trying to beat it out, but the goalie comes out and gets to it first. Now you got to take advantage of that. Tigers team really needs to get in position of that at that point in time because the goalie took a really long time to get back to his line. So if Tigers can take advantage of that, then it'd be awesome. Ball played up the middle, up to the left side, but just out of reach of the Roosevelt attacker, scooped up by John Powell.
You know, that Roosevelt goalkeeper, he actually fell down after he kicked that ball. That's probably why he took so long to come back.
You got to really be aware of those situations that these goalkeepers fall down, and you have to realize that they have an open goal. So you have to really take crisp passes, make it quick, and try to get a shot on goal. Ball played back to Jeff Fitzjohn of the left side, and somehow trips on that turf. Up the right side for Roosevelt, played in the middle. 3-on-2 situation, shot, but just goes over the goal.
Probably seeing quite a few players falling here today. There was a pretty decent snowstorm yesterday night, so maybe there's still a little bit of water on this turf field and can make it a little bit slippery for them trying to get up and down and making sharp cuts.
Yeah. John Powell getting the ball out on the left side. And played nicely by C.J. Hull, trying to switch fields, puts the ball upfield, and he is offside. Josh Kudary offside for the second time this game. These Tigers team really need to pay attention to the defenders of their positions. I know they're anxious to get upfield, but that's going to cost you every single time. Ball tried to be controlled by C.J. Hull, but that is put wide by a Roosevelt defender.
Another goal kick coming in here from John Powell.
Well, we got 17 minutes past in this first half. If you're just joining us, I'm Caleb Humble, your play-by-play today. We got Kyle Cooper on color, and we got Cody Up giving you the visuals here, giving you that camera work. If you are just joining us, this is our first ever student-ran broadcast. And a tough tackle by Jeff Fitzjohn that's going to be given as not a foul. Looked like he was getting it on. He was trying to have a play on there.
It's very surprising that wasn't a foul. It looked like he went straight for the legs instead of the ball.
Tanner Davis swoops the ball up. And then C.J. Hull shoved down by number 10 on the Roosevelt team. Played quickly out to the right side to Dalton Harrington, trying to compose the ball. Took a little too long trying to get that ball up to Yago Roloff, and then it eventually kicks the ball out for a Roosevelt throw-in.
Yeah, we keep talking about how they're really ready to move upfield, and then they just kind of hesitated.
Ball played up the right side to Yago Roloff, tries to put a move on it to move the defender, and gets kicked out to Dalton Harrington, trying to play it in the middle. And it'll be a free kick right outside the box for our Erie Tigers.
It's going to be a good opportunity here.
You really have to take advantage of these little opportunities.
Now the real question here is, are they going to try to go straight for the goal, or are they going to try to pass somewhere?
Looks like either C.J. Hull or Josh Mihalik is going to come and take this. I have a good feeling that Josh is going to take this. Usually C.J. is not very much of a striker role. But actually, yeah. Try to play up over the bar and just rises on Josh and just hits the crossbar on the football post. It is ruled out of bounds or out of play. Evan Harbaugh coming in the game for Josh Kudary.
That was a really good shot, trying to go top left corner and just sailed it just a hair.
Great thing about Evan Harbaugh, who's coming in the game. This is he's a freshman this year, and great thing about Evan is that he can play anywhere you need him on the field. Seen multiple games when he's played forward, midfield, defender. He's one of those types of players who really can do anything on this field. Ball tried to play up from Yago Roloff up to Hogan Warlock, but kicked out by the Roosevelt goalie. Down to Jeff Fitzjohn trying to get the ball out of bounds for an Erie throw-in.
Now, as a coach, I really would love to see more utility players. You kind of get people stuck in a role like, oh, I'm always a forward, and then all of a sudden you don't need a forward, and where are you going to put them? Are you going to wait until they're a senior because there's someone who's 1 year older than them, or are you going to try to convert them or not?
Yeah, great ball from Jackson Higgins up to the front. But Evan Harbaugh just gets on the side of the ball and kind of puts a little rainbow ball right into the goalie's hands. High kick it to the middle to C.J. Hull. Tries to control it down, but just kicks it out of bounds, trying to kick it to Jeffrey Fitzjohn. Well, this Tigers team so far has been looking pretty good. They've been attacking, played great defense, but it's just those little mishaps that come over. Great play by Jeffrey Fitzjohn to let the ball through to Dalton Harrington. Great ball up to Evan Harbaugh, trying to get to the ball, but he gets the ball back. Shot over goal, and it goes just over the bar. Great shot by Evan Harbaugh.
Another shot just above the goal. These Tigers are really putting the pressure on this Roosevelt team right now.
And it looks like that Coach Vigil is going to put in a number of players. Put another number of players for this Tigers team. Looks like there's 5 ready to warm up. Ball played to Ethan Tyson. Up to the top to Hogan Warlock trying to win the ball.
Starting to see a little bit of wind out there. It's also pretty
in the
chilly
middle.
out, so.
Just wide. It's a great ball. Substitute coming in.
A lot of these substitutions could be so he can keep his players warm, get some jackets on them.
Josh Mahaley coming in for Dalton Harrington.
It's good clear by the Roosevelt defender there.
Nice ball played up from Colin Heinel. Trying to play the ball to Hogan Warlock, but just gets hit and rebounded off of a Roosevelt defender to the left side, out of bounds for an Erie throw-in.
Got another opportunity to strike here for Erie once again. See if they can put an exclamation point on this. Another throw-in for the Erie Tigers.
C.J. Hold now playing as a senior captain. And another offside call from our Tigers. CJ has had a couple of injuries throughout his career. Even this year, he's been injured a few times. But he is such a great, positive aspect to this team. He really kind of blends the team together. Ball trying to be played from Yago Roloff up the field.
And talking about CJ's injuries, he had a knee injury early, and people thought he was going to be out for 3 or 4 games, but he came back pretty quickly, which is really good for this Erie Tiger team. Having a senior captain out there helping teach everybody what should you do. Are you going to pass here? What are you going to do?
And you see the numbers of this Tigers team. We need to we got to make sure we got to capitalize on these little possessions. But I feel like we are really keeping the ball on their side of the field, which is really helpful for this even defense, where you may not see them in the picture, but you see a couple of players really drop far back. But a lot of our Tigers team push forward, trying to get those attacking numbers and try to even get some goals in there.
Yeah, all this attacking is really giving the defense a lot of breathing time and a lot of time to really think about the game and are your players going to do what they should do? And I think the offense is definitely very good for this Tiger team, especially when they hadn't scored a lot of goals early on this season.
Ball played out on the right side for an Erie throw-in. Tanner David to throw.
Nice little throw in right there.
And again, Erie, another throw-in up the side. Trying to play up the CJ Hull in the middle. And gets put on and gets scooped up by the goalie there. Ball kind of skipping around inside. CJ trying to capitalize on it.
Again, another chance for Erie to score and just missing. One of these times it's going to go in, and I think that's going to seal the deal because Roosevelt's offense is not doing too well right now.
Ball played to Evan Harbaugh, trying to play up to Hogan Warlock, but just gets intercepted by the Roosevelt defender. Jackson Higgins trying to come in. But ball scooped up by Jeffrey Fitzjohn, played out to the right side. Good ball played up to the middle, but then gets played back into the Tigers' side.
Back into that Roosevelt side again. Now, I don't have a clock on me, but I'd say probably 2/3 of this game has been played in Roosevelt's half, which is extremely good for the Tigers.
Ball played up the left side, and Ethan Tyson scoops the ball out. And looks like we're going to have a subs here. Actually, sorry, we're going to get a sub once Erie gets a throw-in. Coming on will be Mark Karstensen and Josh Kudary. Roosevelt with the ball on the left side. CJ Hull trying to get it out. Trying to find some numbers here. Play up to Evan Harbaugh up the right side. Played in Mihalik in the middle. The great ball played outside to Jeffrey Fitzjohn, trying to chase the ball down before it gets out of bounds, and he does. Trying to play in the middle to CJ Hull, trying to get a strike on it. He just gets the side of the ball and sails over the goal. 12:30 remaining in this half. Mark Karstensen coming on for Tanner David, and Josh Kudary coming on for Yago Roloff.
Now we see Yago playing a lot. He has not been subbed out until just now in this game. So, do you think that Yago might be that next prospect that will come from Erie, or do you think he's maybe done for after high school?
Well, I think that Yago is one of those players who really is technical. He really knows the game. He tries to play these through balls that really not a lot of people see, but I think he needs to work on the little things like the striking, the positioning of the shots, because he's had some shots on goal, but it's really been more of a different kind of effort. He's either sailing it over the goal or just not really getting the shots off. Up now for a goal kick for Erie.
That ball just left of the goal.
But the senior class next year is going to be fantastic. And you got Yago Roloff, Patrick Cummings, Josh Kudary, Ethan Tyson, Hogan Warlock. I mean, you could name so many more. But even like Jackson Higgins, I mean, like half of this Tigers team next year are going to be seniors. So really not losing too many people, but we're really going to have this attacking force for next year.
Yeah, a lot of returning names coming back next year, like you were saying. And, I mean, these people are doing some damage this year, so imagine what a year of hard work and effort can add to that.
Ball trying to be played up, but played a little too far for Hogan Warlock's lightning speed. Evan Harbaugh trying to intercept, but just goes off his chest and out of bounds.
Throw in by Roosevelt. And another throw in by Roosevelt here.
Being played now upfield. Playing back on Erie's side. Played in the middle. And Colin Heinel taking the ball away.
And again, the ball is back in Roosevelt's side, just like that.
Now a ball being played in the middle for Roosevelt, trying to put something together here. Tries to take a shot, but that is blocked by Evan Harbaugh. Played at the left side to Hogan Warlock, trying to get past the defender and gets right past him. Trying to play the ball up to Josh Kudary, but headed on. It tries to get, and he's Josh Kudary scores!
Josh Kudary!
Great goal by Josh Kudary. The ball was headed on by the Roosevelt defender, and Josh kept the ball in his sights and placed the ball beautifully for Erie to go up 1-0.
And there's that strike that these Tigers really needed. They missed 3 opportunities so far, but finishing that 4th one.
9 minutes, 20 seconds left in this first half. Your Erie Tigers up 1 and Roosevelt 0. Jacob Fawcett coming in the game.
Roosevelt starts an attack back, but cleared.
This defense has been really, really solid today. Been getting those passes intercepted quickly. Ball trying to be played up to the middle. And goalie fumbles it, but being cleared by a Roosevelt defender.
Seeing a few misplays here by the Roosevelt team. See if Erie can strike on that.
Josh Kudary trying to get the ball and slips a little bit. Both players trying to fight for the ball, but then gets hit to CJ Hull. CJ trying to put some moves. Gets past the defender up to the very edge, trying to get cleared out, but Evan Harbaugh's right there. Trying to be played in the middle. Shot on goal and just over the bar. Feel like that little spark from Josh Kudary really helped this team just in the matter of a minute and a half. Just have a little bit more energy, it seems as if. CJ Hull coming off and Colin Heinel coming off. Patrick Cummings and Dalton Harrington back on.
That last attack by Erie was a long one, and it all kind of started from that goalie's misplay.
Roosevelt throw in on the right side. Being cleared there by Jackson Higgins. All the way up to Jacob Fawcett. To Dalton Harrington in the middle, trying to find some numbers. Plays a great move. Trying to play the ball up to Josh Kudary. Getting it to the ball. He tries to, I think he tried to play the ball in the middle, but just caught the outside of the ball and had a little tailing ball going just out of play.
Got another clear here by Roosevelt. Cut off there by Mark Carsonson. And then another throw in here by Roosevelt. But also, again, in their half. Erie is really putting the pressure on and trying to keep the ball in Roosevelt's half for a majority of this game so far.
Substitute here for the Roosevelt. Ball played in the middle, and Roosevelt player trying to play to the outside, just gets past Jeffrey Fitzjohn, played in the middle, and skied over the goal for an Erie goal kick. 5:50 left in this half. Erie Tigers 1. Your Roosevelt, and then the Roosevelt Rough Riders 0.
See if these Tigers can get another attack going.
Ooh. And Josh Mihalik right there gets a little tripped up for an Erie free kick. Dalton Harrington, Jackson Higgins to take. Trying to put some numbers up right next to the box so Jackson Higgins can try to put a shot near the goal and then have someone head it on in, which they try to do, and it goes over and just hit wide by the Roosevelt goalie for a corner kick.
Very good save there.
That was a fantastic save. It looked like it was going to go in. From our view, it even looked like it was in the goal for where we were, but great save to put the ball out for a corner kick. Tigers trying to get some numbers in there in the box. Dalton Harrington tries to play in the middle, gets shuffled around in there, but then gets cleared up to Jeffrey Fitzjohn, who gets a free kick. Looked like he got a cleat to the ankle. Limping up the field now.
Another chance here for the Tigers.
I think they're going to do the same thing as they did last time. Either do that or have one person tap it and then have either Tyson or Higgins start running up and try to take a shot on the goal. Jackson Higgins puts a shot on, and it's good! Jackson Higgins with the free kick.
That ball slipped right through that goalie's hands. He was ready for it, too.
From 40 yards out, Jackson Higgins scores to put the Erie Tigers up 2-0 with 3:50 left in the half. That goalie saw that ball coming towards him and it just hit off the tip of his goalie gloves and just sailed right in the corner. Great free kick there by Jackson. It's always good seeing a defender score a goal. It's a former defensive player. It's a rush. Brandon Cummings trying to play the ball in the middle and then gets kicked out by a Roosevelt defender.
Erie throw in from the left side.
You can really see the numbers being pressed upfield here. I mean, there's only one or two defenders being back, at least playing further back to try to stop the counterattacks. Evan Harbaugh trying to play the ball up to Josh Kuderi, and he's onside. Tries to put a ball in the middle, but no one is there. Out for a Erie throw-in on the right side. Evan Harbaugh to take. Ball to Patrick Cummings, trying to play it to Dalton Harrington in the middle. And is kicked to Jeffrey Fitzjohn on the right side. Back to Fitzjohn. Up to Cummings, and then ball being played around nicely here by this Tigers team. And then tries to get intercepted by a Roosevelt player.
These Tigers are really pushing hard on this Roosevelt half right here. Keeping defenders just on the other side of the half mark.
Brandon Cummings trying to find some options here in the box. And then it's cleared by the Roosevelt defender here. Just under 2 minutes left in the first half. Ball being played in the middle. Tries to take a shot on goal and is then gathered by the goalie. That was Josh Kuderi trying to get his second goal of the day.
Ever since that goal, that ball has been in Roosevelt's half for a solid minute and a half of just pure attack by the Tigers.
Yeah, this is their first time back on Erie's side for quite a bit now.
Roosevelt throwing, coming right here. Strong throw. Defended nicely by the Tigers defense.
And ball struck by Roosevelt Roosevelt player, and then to John Powell up for a booting the ball up the middle. Well, right now, the Jack Josh Kudary is the leading goal scorer on this team. With today, what he's scored is 6 goals now. And then Hogan Warlock still with 4. And that, I believe, is Jackson Higgins' first goal of the year. I'm not sure it's the first one of his career, but I believe it's his first of the year. Ball being played out, kicked out by Jeffrey Fitzjohn for a Roosevelt throw-in. 10 seconds left of this half.
Roosevelt's really going to have to attack here if they want any chance at a goal early in this game.
And that is halftime.
Your Tigers lead 2-0 over the Roosevelt Rough Riders.
We will be back in a few short moments. And we will see you guys soon. Thank you. hold on.
Welcome back to the Erie Tiger Network. Here with the Erie against Roosevelt soccer game. Erie is currently leading 2-0 as we're about to start our second half.
This Tigers team really looking good for this second half. Hopefully, we can keep the offensive possession going. They've been really keeping the ball on Roosevelt's side almost the whole game. But then once the ball gets back out to Erie's side, it quickly always, most of the time, has been swept away.
Shows a little bit about that Erie defense, working it back to the offense quickly and efficiently.
Well, if you're just joining us here on the Erie Tiger Network, my name is Caleb Humble. I'll be doing your play-by-play /color. Kyle Cooper here doing the same. We also have Cody up giving you the camera work for today. And we're getting ready to kick off the second half. Roosevelt has possession.
Again, Erie is up 2-0 here to start the second half. Hopefully Erie can continue this role of offense and score a few more goals.
Quickly intercepted from the Tigers.
And again, in the Roosevelt half, they're really working on keeping it on that side.
Beautiful ball by Dalton Harrington. Played up to C.J. Holt, trying to track it down before it gets out of bounds. And it looked like it crossed the line for a corner kick, but
yeah,
no sign given.
That definitely looked out.
Fortunately, the referee on the Tigers side is on the south side, which really couldn't see where that came from. Only the referee on the north side could see that and didn't give it because it was on the opposite side of the field. Ball played up in the middle, trying to track down by Hogan Warlock. Really trying to get some numbers here. Play in the middle, but straight into the Roosevelt defender's chest. Yago Roloff trying to get to the ball and gets picked up by the Roosevelt goalkeeper.
Good clear by that keeper. And then, again, intercepted by the Erie defense and drove back into Roosevelt's half.
And then, well, it looked like it was Erie's ball, but I guess they're going to give it to the Rough Riders here.
Throw in from that left side. And then again, intercepted by the Erie defense.
I think what this team needs is just a couple more of those crisp passes. We've had our moments of getting those passes, getting a lot of little small back and forth passes, those little 1-2s, but really there's been just a lot of sloppy passes being put up the field and just quickly intercepted by some Rough Riders players. So if we can really get those crisp passes done, make sure they don't go through, like kind of like one there, Evan Harbaugh didn't really check to see where any Erie Tiger player was going, just kind of kicked it upfield. But this Tigers team still looking really, really, really impressive this game. Ball played in the middle, and the Erie's tied, and collected by John Powell.
John Powell has done a really, really good job coming in and filling the spot for Dylan Brown. Ever since he got his injury, it's been interesting for that goalie position.
And an offside call for Josh Kudary. That seemed like to be the closest one, but would have been played on, and that would have been a great chance for the Tigers to put another score up on there. Good ball played up the left side. Back to Roosevelt, trying to have someone get to the ball, and Hogan Warlock trying to beat it out. Collected by C.J. Holt at Dalton Harrington, up on the right side. Looking to see if he can switch fields, which then gets blocked by a defender, but then headed to Yago Roloff, trying to play the ball in the middle, and it's shot on goal, collected by the Roosevelt goalie. Kicked down the middle to Colin Heinel.
There's a lot of these Roosevelt goal kicks that are just ending up right in Erie's lap, and kind of wondering, should they try to pass more to their team and not Erie's team?
Great ball play to Josh Kudere, the goalie trying to come off the line. Josh shot and
Off the post.
off the left post. Great shot there by Josh Kudere.
Kept
Great
in by
save.
C.J. Hull.
Play to Josh and shot and goal. Colin Heinel with the goal.
And there is that crisp pass that you were talking about earlier, Caleb, from C.J. Hull, just a little right up the middle.
That was fantastic work from everyone there, from Josh Kudere trying to get that shot on goal, but just goes wide, to even C.J. Hull trying to keep that ball in, which barely stayed in, which really helped the Tigers stay with possession, and then Colin following up with C.J., getting in the right position and putting in the back of the net.
That was a lot of pressure, again, early by this Erie team.
And really, just with this, Josh Kudere trying to head the ball up the field, just that constant pressure back on their side.
Booted out by the Roosevelt defender.
And cool thing about Colin Heinel is that he is a transfer just because he wanted to be coached by Coach Vigil, which he's played for his club teams, and really believes in Vigil, believes in everything that he says. And ball played out for a goal kick for Roosevelt. And if you see some other teams out here today, there'd be games played today at Niwot. It should be played at Niwot, but then they have a grass field that is too wet to play on, so they have traveled all the way up to Erie to play a home game at Erie Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, I heard that the match coming up after this one is a top 5 matchup for 4A. So, sounds like there's going to be a good match coming up after this one, too.
Ball playing from Roosevelt, the middle, and so that's Jackson Higgins there. Trying to kick the ball away.
Roosevelt throwing from the near side.
Dalton Harrington trying to intercept. But a Roosevelt player kicks it to there. Colin Heinel trying to gather the ball. Dalton Harrington just missteps. And Erie is given a free kick to be taken by Jackson Higgins. Trying to press people forward. Taking it quickly. And booted up by a Roosevelt defender.
See if this Erie Tiger team can keep those passes going.
Great ball.
Another offsides. Very not super surprising, but surprising that the Tigers get this many offsides.
And now we have a goal kick here for Roosevelt. Set to be taken by a Roosevelt defender. And then is sailed out of bounds. Just kind of got away from that player there trying to put it to a Roosevelt defender off the left side. Ball played in Dalton Harrington. Trying to put the ball up the side. And Yago Roloff trying to collect it, which does. And then played up to Josh Kudere and offside again.
It's like the 6th or 7th offsides by this Tigers offense here.
I think they're a little anxious to start getting upfield, and because they see nobody in front of them, and they get a ball that's They just want to start getting upfield, and then they get that offside call. Ball play up the right side to C.J. Hull, trying to play it in the middle and right to the goalie's hands for Roosevelt.
Trying to get a quick play coming out here by Roosevelt.
Boot up the right side off the side of the boot.
Really high kick there.
Tried to play quickly, but really didn't go to anyone there. But still, Erie has possession and really trying to keep it on the Roosevelt possession side. Ball kicked out from Roosevelt for Tanner David to take the throw in.
Roosevelt kind of passing back and forth there in their half, with a clear going right to an Erie player once again.
Now Tigers trying to bring it back a little bit. Get those defenders back to make sure to stop any counters. Jackson Higgins trying to play a sneaky ball up the top and gets booted back upfield. And looked like it was headed off by a Roosevelt defender, but then given for Roosevelt, even though the referee was behind the play. All you could see was Evan Harbaugh trying to put his head in there. Yager Roloff gets the ball, trying to collect it, trying to put it upfield. Josh Guderian does. Ball trying to
C.J. Hull there. Trying to move the ball upfield there up the middle. Just a wall of Roosevelt defenders there. Not much to do when, you can't go anywhere.
About 10 minutes have passed here in the second half. Your Erie Tigers up 3-0.
Throw in on the far side by the Roosevelt defender after a Roosevelt substitution.
And kicked out there by Dalton Harrington for another Roosevelt throw-in. You can see the amount of players that are hovering around this ball on the Erie Tiger side. Trying to still keep that pressure even with a 3-0 cushion. Still trying to create that pressure. And it's booted out to the front up until the Erie side, trying to get collected down, and ball is shot wide there by that Roosevelt player for an Erie goal kick. That was a great ball played from the back up to the Erie side, but just unfortunately plays it a little bit too wide.
Very good by the Erie defense to get in front of that attacker, making sure he doesn't have a shot on that goal, but only wide of it.
Jackson Higgins looking for a handball there, but goes back out for a Roosevelt throw-in.
Now it looks like that Roosevelt attacker was pulling some jerseys there, but no call. Pass upfield just too far for Hogan Warlock. Roosevelt throwing on the near side. And intercepted by Erie, trying to work it away from those Roosevelt players.
Great tackle there by Tanner David. Slid right through the ball. Trying to play the ball up to Hogan Warlock, which is a little too wide and gets collected by the Roosevelt goalkeeper. Booted up the middle, trying to get to some attackers upfield for Roosevelt, but then handball for Roosevelt for an Erie free kick, taken quickly to Colin Heinel. Trying to get some numbers up in the box. Plays the ball nicely, but C.J. Hull stopped his run and went to the goalkeeper's hands. This goalkeeper he's been pretty solid all day, but you never know, just like with Jackson Higgins earlier in the game, if you put it right to his hands, you could either have him save it or really get a nice little touch right off it and go into the side of the goal. Josh Guderian trying to get the ball upfield, but then played out wide by a Roosevelt defender for an Erie throw-in.
Yeah, this Roosevelt goalie has done a pretty good job on the balls that come right to him. A lot of his goal kicks, though, have just kind of been willy-nilly kicked wherever they want, which is a little bit of a surprise. I would expect more of a detailed kick on where you want to put it.
And played up nicely, trying to get to the Roosevelt attacker. And it's given an offside.
First offside by the Roosevelt team.
That one looked really, really close there. It's one of the closest ones we've had all game. Jackson Higgins here to take it. Tries to put it up to Hogan Warlock. But then C.J. Hull trying to track it down before it gets out of bounds, and it does for a Roosevelt throw-in.
You haven't seen a lot of offense by this Roosevelt team, so there's not that many offsides that you can really see. So that first one was very big for Erie because that was a one-on-one play there.
Played into Yago Roloff trying to control in the middle. He gets it up and hit down by the goalkeeper and somehow stays in and gets back to the goalkeeper's hands. Josh Scuderi trying to play it back in the middle. But then the goalkeeper comes in, sees the ball right in front of him, and just grabs it out of the air. Ball skyrocketed and given for an Erie free kick. Or, sorry, a Roosevelt free kick. Trying to play it quickly up the left side. But then scooped up by Dalton Harrington. And then fouled. Great piece of sportsmanship there. Give him a little pat on the back saying sorry.
Now a chance for Erie to attack here with, and they go for a short pass, going right up the middle.
Try to play it up to Heinel, and then either try and take a shot on goal or even to see if he can get a deflection and have someone go in there because the defense was pressing up very high. And it looks like V-Hill is getting almost the whole bench ready to come in. I mean, that looks like a solid
Corner kick
6
coming
guys.
from the far side.
He just headed out there. Josh Scuderi trying to get his head on it and just hits it wide. Yeah, it looks like about 7 guys are getting ready to come back in the game. It's good to get some fresh legs back on the field. Roosevelt throwing on the left side. Dalton Harrington plays it nicely, but then just booted out by the Roosevelt defender.
Throw in for Erie with the pass going up the middle. A lot of little touches there. The goalie going and grabbing that ball before he gets a goal kick. That ball booted to midfield again.
And a foul on Colin Heinel there. Just getting a little too aggressive with the cleared ball. Try to gain position and then ended up being a little shoving war, which never ends well for either one or two people. Then kicked out from Tyson and a sub coming on for Roosevelt.
Good stop there by the Erie defense, not letting that ball get through and just pushing it off to the side. Throw in for Roosevelt. Intercepted by the Erie team. Pushing the ball back to the Roosevelt side.
Ball played up. Josh Scuderi trying to, he got right past the keeper there and then tried to get that shot on goal. It just sailed on him. A little upset with that, but can't be too upset when you got a 3-0 cushion.
You always want that extra goal, but when you're up 3-0, that's not a big deal that you miss that.
That's just a learning curve, trying to focus on it for next time. And nice ball play from Yago Roloff. It looked like a shot there, but just a little wide. Josh Kudari trying to follow it up. We think we see that it was deflected out for an Erie corner.
Another chance to strike here for this Erie team. See if they can capitalize on this.
Ball played on the ground. It just gets over the bar again. Jackson Higgins, no goalie in front of him, and just the ball just kind of bouncing and just really didn't get a great touch on it and just went right over the goalpost.
Third or fourth ball just right in between that touchdown field goal and the actual goalpost. And that's probably pretty hard to do if you're trying to do it. And this Erie team's done it 3 times.
Yeah, that's when you focus on more striking, more on the upside of the ball than more down and trying to get the ball up, more like placing it in the bottom corners than trying to get the ball up in the air.
Misplay by the Roosevelt team. We have 3 substitutions coming in for this Erie squad.
Got Jeffrey Fitzjohn coming on for Hogan Warlock. Josh Mihalik coming on for Josh Kudari. And then we also have we also have another Erie player coming on for Tanner David.
Sorry about that. Trying to pull up our roster here.
Jacob Fawcett coming in. Nice ball trying to be played out to C.J. Hull, trying to keep it in bounds. He does. Tries to play it back in the middle, but intercepted there. Out for an Erie throw-in on the right side. C.J. Hull trying to put the ball in the middle. And is trying to do a little bicycle kick action there from Josh Mihalik. And then is over the bar for Roosevelt's goal kick.
Pressure is really on this Roosevelt defense. It's almost been non-stop in that far side. Intercepted by that Roosevelt defender. And re-picked up by that Erie defender.
Josh Mihalik trying to chase the ball down. Up to Jeffrey Fitzjohn trying to switch fields. Up to Dalton Harrington. C.J. Hull trying to ask for the ball in the middle. Evan Harbaugh trying to keep it in. And just gets past him for a goal kick. It looks like now we got 3 more players ready to come on. And we have an injured player here, a Roosevelt player. Ready to come in we have there Patrick Cummings, Kevin Lee, and Jacob Fawcett. Great to see this Roosevelt player come off the field off his own power. Looks like he has a cramp.
See C.J. Cole coming off the field there. Looks like the first time he came off for a substitution. Roosevelt playing the ball on this near side. Chance for Erie.
Ball booted out by the Roosevelt goalkeeper up to Patrick Cummings in the middle. Colin Heinel there in the middle trying to switch fields, which he does to Jeffrey Fitzjohn.
Looks like that ball is going to just carry out. A little too much power there.
Give a little shout out to our athletic director, Justin Carpenter, here up in the booth. Causing a little mayhem here.
Always got to have a little bit of fun.
Even with Mr. Bird out today, he usually picks on Mr. Bird. Now he's picking on us, so You win some, you lose some. Ball played out. It looked like it was last touch by a Roosevelt player, but then given for a Roosevelt throw-in. Hit out by an Erie defender for another Roosevelt throw-in.
Roosevelt throwing on this near side.
Now an Erie throw-in here, Mark Carstensen. Another one of our Erie seniors. Our seniors this year, we got Mark Carstensen, CJ Hull, Colin Heino, Josh Mihalik. So those will be some key players that lose it next year, but really this Tigers team is in great shape for at least this year and next year.
Yeah, that's a very small senior class when you kind of think about it. When, like I said earlier, I mean, this program started when all these seniors were freshmen, so you'd think that they'd stick around, but quite a few of them have left over the years, finding new interests.
I mean, we have on the Erie Tigers roster, we have 11 juniors on this roster, which is mind-boggling. We have 5 seniors. We have 4 sophomores and just 2 freshmen on this roster.
Sounds like next season might be a pretty decent season for the Tigers.
Tigers trying to get back for a Roosevelt possession and then given for a handball for a free kick for a Roosevelt just outside the box. This is the first real opportunity for Roosevelt's really had this half or even this game. They haven't had really any big opportunities.
Looks as if Roosevelt is going to try to go for the goal here. Nobody really up there for a pass. Erie does have this covered very well with a man on every player.
And just sails over the bar. We got a substitute coming in. Tanner David coming in for Jackson Higgins.
Goal kick coming in here for John Powell. See if he can get this out there and push it out of this Erie territory.
Colin Heil trying to head the ball up. Poorly played by a Roosevelt defender, but then trying to get scooped up, but now Erie's possession trying to take advantage of this. Short numbers. Josh Mihalik trying to chase the ball down. Kevin Lee trying to chase it. Back to Patrick Cummings, tries to take a shot with his left foot. Hit down by the goalie and gathered to boot it away.
High kick coming to midfield here. And that's going to go out and be an Erie throw-in.
Jacob Marcoux trying to come on here for Evan Harbaugh, sophomore.
Really circulating in some of these younger players, get them a lot more experience when you're up 3 goals.
When you got 14 minutes left in the game and you got some younger kids who really haven't had a lot of experience on this varsity squad, might as well try to give them some playing time here. Mark Carstensen trying to chase the ball down.
Nice little fake there.
I'm not sure if that was intended, but it works either way. Ethan Tyson with the sweep coming out to Kevin Lee. Try to play up by Josh Mihalik. Kevin Lee with a run up the left side, trying to get some numbers in the box. Try to be played by Jacob Marcoux, goes through. And given an offside.
Free kick here for the Rough Riders. Now this player has gotten a pretty decent leg here in this game, but given right to an Erie player once again.
Then scooped up by Kevin Lee to Jacob Marcoux trying to play it out. Jacob Fawcett trying to gather it. Patrick Cummings kind of hits Jacob on the head, but that's all the fun in it. Ethan Tyson trying to sweep it out, which does. And another offside there for the Tigers.
We're almost approaching double digits on that offsides call for these Erie Tigers.
I mean, there's no real way to practice offside. It's just more about awareness. More through going through film, which you could go through right here on the Erie Tiger Network. But it's more of just, yeah, like I said, being aware of your surroundings, being aware of where the defenders are, so then you can really attack the up front. Make sure you start getting a good run.
Free kick here for the Rough Riders and sailed out of bounds.
We got a substitute here, Josh Kuderi coming on. Coming on for Josh Mihalik. It looks like here Hogan Warlock is going to come back on too.
Goal kick here for the Tigers. And we haven't said that a lot today, which kind of shows the offensive power they've had during this game.
Played Jacob Marcoux trying to chase the ball down, but then given away. Kevin Lee trying to keep possession. Josh Kuderi running the ball, but goalkeeper really gets off his line, gets at least 4 yards outside of his box.
That can be really dangerous if a Erie player comes up and blocks his kick.
Great clear there by Mark Carstensen, halting that attack there for Roosevelt. Now approaching 10 minutes left in this game. Erie Tigers up 3, Roosevelt 0. If you're just joining us on this Erie Tiger Network broadcast, I'm Caleb Hummel giving you play-by-play in color. We have Kyle Cooper here also giving you the same. And we got Cody Yop here giving you our camera work.
That ball played up that left side and given out by that Rough Rider goalie to give himself a goal kick.
Hogan Warlock coming on for Colin Heinel. Played great today. Most likely his last showing in this game.
Ball played up the middle and touched early by an Erie player and then given right back to Roosevelt.
Ball kicked up the left side. Mark Carstensen trying to chase it down nicely off the left side of his body to Jacob Marcoux. They're played in the middle. Down the right side for Roosevelt, an attack. Trying to be played in the middle for a run, but then his number 8 for Roosevelt halted his run and stopped that attack, and ball just sailed out of bounds. Really a crowd here showing up for this next game. For this, I believe it's Silver Creek versus Niwot.
Sounds right to me.
A lot of fans traveling from North Longmont and more about 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away in Niwot. So great to see, even just with other schools in this area, that a lot of people are showing great passion towards their teams, even if it's away at a different high school. Ball played in the middle. Josh Kuderi sails it over for a goal kick. I believe in American football that was a field goal there.
It's 3 points right there. I don't know why the scoreboard doesn't say 6-0.
I mean, we've had a lot of those today, so might as well tack on the other ones. Approaching 8 minutes left in this game. Jacob Fawcett kind of giving a little break there. Patrick Cummings played in the middle. Back to Hogan Warlock to Jeffrey Fitzjohn. The right side to Jacob Marcoux. Now a 3-on-3 situation for Roosevelt. Tries to play up the ball up the right side. Ethan Tyson with his speed trying to chase it down and gathers it and puts it upfield, but right to a Roosevelt defender. Played back in the middle to Jacob Marcoux trying to gather the ball. And Patrick Cummings shoved the player down. It didn't look like he really meant to.
Roosevelt here with another opportunity.
About 40 yards out here. Correction, 36 yards. Ball trying to be played to John Powell's right side and then gets sailing out of bounds for a goal kick for Erie. Seems to me that I believe 7 out of the 11 players on this Tigers team have been taken off the field and been put in our reserves, more of a JV swingers coming up, and really those players who are role players who come off the bench.
Yeah, and it's really good for this experience of these younger players to know the speed and the power behind some of these varsity games.
Well, it's great to see. I haven't even seen that much of a difference in between the possession-wise. It's great to see that even with taking out like these key players, that you can still have great attacking forces, great defense, keep the ball going upfield. Ball played in the middle and gathered by the Roosevelt goalkeeper.
Kick to about midfield and touched by an Erie player early.
Josh Gutierrez trying to chase the ball down on the rep side. And he's going to let it go out for a throw-in.
Roosevelt's been throwing a bunch of these possessions away with a lot of these offsides and balls going over the goal, and they're just kind of giving it right back to Erie. And
yeah, that throw-in looked like a sidearm kind of throw, which is not legal here. Now out for a corner kick for Erie. Hogan Warlock to take.
another chance here for the Tigers to strike and add a fourth goal onto here.
Played in the middle over the goalkeeper, trying to hit the ball down and then hit into the left side of the net. Sailed over the goalkeeper, which is a mistake that he jumped and tried to punch it, but just a little too short for it. But then no Erie players right next to that line after he kicked it. Usually you like seeing a player run to the far post if a goalie's in the near post. Because if you see events like that, then you get to have that little tap in there. Tyson trying to chase the ball down, but then to Tanner David trying to get cleared out. Jacob Fawcett taking the ball down. And then ball played back to John Powell to boot it away. 4 minutes left in this game.
Erie still up 3-0 over these Roosevelt Rough Riders. Pressure has really been on that Roosevelt team the entire game. There's been 1 or 2 chances by Roosevelt here, but they have not capitalized at all.
And Jeffrey Fitzjohn gets hit hard, and they give a yellow card to this Roosevelt player. Great to see Jeffrey come back up and say that he's still good. Clock stopping at 3:36 to assess the yellow card.
Free kick coming on here for this Erie squad. Potentially going to capitalize here.
Tanner David kind of gets right under that ball and trying to be played to Jacob Marcoux up to the right side, but then kicks it out of bounds.
Roosevelt with a throw in on the far side. See if Erie can intercept it with a lot of these Roosevelt players pushed up for an offensive attack.
Headed on by Josh Guderi. Up to Jacob Marcoux. Hit back in the air. Trying to get hit down by Mark Carstensen.
Ball cleared up to this right side.
Great ball played by this Roosevelt midfielder to Jeffrey Fitzjohn in the middle. Like I said earlier, Jeffrey Fitzjohn is very technical, and he's really getting all these passes. He's getting all these passes intercepted. He's making these key little plays that really lead to some really good Tiger offense.
It's like another substitution wants to come in here for this Tiger team.
Jackson Higgins trying to run on, trying to get on before time stops.
Approaching 2 minutes left in this game. Tigers still up 3-0. Free kick here for the Rough Riders on that far side.
Jackson very anxious to get in this game. Not sure why.
Potentially he's going to go play a position he's never done before, seeing as how he got that goal earlier in this game.
Like maybe they're trying to put him at a striking position. And I think Jackson is going to try to come on for Josh Kuderi, trying to get his little shining moments here at striker. I feel like trying to convince coach to put him at striker just because he scored a goal. Never seen Jackson Higgins that excited to run on the pitch.
Good move by that Roosevelt attacker there.
Played up nicely. Jacob Marcoux trying to put the ball upfield. Trying to put up to Jackson Higgins, trying to get his moment. And then it's played right by him.
Under a minute left here to play in this Erie Roosevelt soccer game.
And foul by an Erie player. Taken quickly up the field. Chico Fawcett trying to track the ball down. Kicks the ball out of bounds.
Under 30 seconds left to play. Roosevelt trying to at least get one score in this game, and that ball booted away.
Jackson trying to put a move on it, but then doesn't really fool the Roosevelt defender. Hit to John Powell.
He's going to take his time here.
Well, that looks like it's going to wrap it up here, folks. With a final score of 3-0, your Erie Tigers reign over the Roosevelt Rough Riders. For me, I'm Caleb Humble. Kyle Cooper, Cody Yop, signing off here. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys later.